A few weeks back, Polyend sent me a big old package that I was very excited about getting. We're talking about looking out the window waiting for a FedEx truck all day excited. The box contained a Poly module, a sequ, and a Medusa. I even did a little Instagram stream of the unboxing, which was pretty stupid, and I apologize if you wasted your time watching that. Out of these three things, by far, most people were asking me to do a Benn gear video on the Medusa. So I rolled up my sleeves and set out to make a Medusa video. However, I got very distracted by how much fun the Medusa is, and I ended up making tracks with it, and for about 7 days, it even overlapped into the time that I usually spend getting griefed by 14-year-olds on Red Dead Redemption Online. So here is my review. The thing's extremely well built, the software support's excellent, they keep updating the firmware with more features, it is extremely powerful, it is extremely unique, it is extremely fun to play with, and it is an incredible synthesizer. But, weirdly, I got quite a few messages and comments from people saying something in the tone of, is this thing actually any good? I heard a lot of bad things. And I personally can't really think of any bad things. I went on the internet and I had a peep for myself, and sure enough, there are some people giving this thing bad reviews. And I am inclined to think that they've never even seen one in real life, much less owned one. There are already videos online that redo the specifications and show you how to use the Medusa, but I think our time would be better spent reviewing the reviews. Both Dreadbox and Polyend are great companies, neither of which is a huge conglomerate, meaning that unfair bad ratings or reviews on one of their products actually hurts them. Also, I don't want to call anybody out in particular, but I do feel that some of the product demos were done by people who didn't take the time to actually learn what the Medusa is capable of. So I'm going to show you some of the patterns and sequences that I've made myself. Let's start our journey at Sweetwater.com. For those of you who don't know what Sweetwater is, it's basically the guitar center of the internet. Some years ago, I bought this overdrive pedal from Sweetwater, and about once a month for a year, a man named Matt called me. Matt from Sweetwater was just calling me to remind me that he's around in case I have any problems figuring out how to use the pedal or any questions regarding how to use it. Matt, how do you work it? Matt, what does the bass knob do? Does it get fish? Hey Matt, if you're still alive, it's a fucking distortion pedal. I got it, bro. But maybe one day we can meet up and you could teach me how to put shoelaces on my shoes and tie them so I don't have to bring my mom on tour anymore. Based on 4 reviews on Sweetwater, we have 2 out of 5 stars. The first review from Anonymous on September 20th, 1 out of 5 stars. Subject, return to sender. Review, I was excited until the unit arrived. The little tiny displays wear tough to read in a well-lit room. Can't imagine what it would be like in a dim-lit club. Okay, this is hard to see in a well-lit room. I guess one could argue that you kind of have to get in close if you want to change the LFO target. But who the fuck is changing their LFO targets mid-show in a nightclub? If for some ungodly reason you wanted to change your LFO targets mid-show in a nightclub, you could just use this here MIDI in port, CC99, and you could do it from any MIDI controller you want. Output omitted random circuit noise. I hear a very faint random circuit noise. But I have things cranked up so high in here that if I accidentally push one of these buttons, my monitors are gonna blow. Honestly, at lower volume, the noise floor on this thing is actually lower than any of the other things in my console. The pots felt cheap, as did the faders. The pots, I believe, are made out of metal, and the faders are, yeah, they're not even moving left and right, really. Yeah, faders are fine. ... was a really high price for what you get. Not my cup of synth. I mean, there are some fat-sounding Moog for half the price. This is my opinion. Don't let it wreck your day. The only fat-sounding Moogs for half the price are right there behind me, and they're nothing like it. On the Medusa, you're getting 3 analog oscillators, 3 wavetable oscillators, 6 VCAs, so they can all operate independently. You're getting 6 envelopes, which are loopable. You're getting 6 LFOs, and a filter, high pass, 2 low pass filters, FM, in 2 different forms. Oh yeah, and that's just the left side. On the right side, you have a 64-step grid sequencer that operates with scales and all those things, but you can also have it operate as a perimeter lock for just about anything on the right side. $1,200 seemed like a high price for that, so you gave it 1 star. Cristo Rapolo from Monterey, California gave it 1 out of 5 stars. Subject, turned to stone. Haha, horrific. Sounds and feels cheap. It's made out of metal, Cristo. Horrific, tiny screens. Lackluster pads. So sad. I did some internet stalking because I wanted to find out what Cristo thought was a good synth. And sure enough, I found a YouTube video where he likes to walk up to the edge of a cliff somewhere and shine flashlights at airplanes and stars, and then when they twinkle back at him, he thinks he's communicating with UFOs. Outside of Cristo's habit of leaving unfairly nonsensical reviews of synthesizers, he seems like a pretty interesting fellow. Interesting enough to where somebody made a documentary about him. It's called Curse of the Man Who Sees UFOs, and it's actually on Netflix right now. You can watch it yourself, but you shouldn't. I would give it 2 out of 5 stars. Perhaps before you're allowed to leave a scathing review on Sweetwater, they give you a little pop-up screen that says, do you communicate with aliens on a regular basis? If you check yes to this question, instead of bringing you to the page to leave the review, you could just download a little text file called confidential that's just 1 megabyte of ASCII data that's just completely random in there, and that person will completely be distracted by that for the rest of their life. 2 down, 2 to go. Nixon. September 28th, by Anonymous. Title, Medusa. 2 out of 5 stars. I came to review this thing worried it was going to be too negative, but I think I actually liked it more than the other reviewers. My main problem was the filter as it got closer to self-oscillation. It just sounded abrupt and horrible. And to seal the deal, after I upgraded the firmware, one particular patch was that exact horrible sound. I don't see the problem. Maybe I got it after there was some firmware patch or something, but I have no idea what this person's talking about. Regardless, you gave it 2 out of 5 stars because it sounded abrupt when you turned the resonance all the way up and self-oscillated the filter. Finally, Craig Anthony Perkins from Portland, Oregon, on December 3rd says, surprisingly great synth. The negative reviews here are wrong. Thank you, Craig. We are doing the Lord's work. I'm very surprised with the 3 negative reviews here. Well, actually, one of those is a known troll who is going onto every YouTube video of the Medusa to give it as much bad press as possible. Probably a competitor. Craig, I am with you. There's definitely some trolling going on, dragging this perfectly fine product through the mud for absolutely no reason. I just don't think it's a competitor. The interesting thing about the Medusa is that there is no competitor. The closest thing I could think of is the Deluge, which is still nothing like it. So that's Sweetwater. 4 reviews, 2 of which I believe are people that are reviewing the wrong product or are completely out of their fucking minds. 77 Advanced on YouTube says, don't know why, but Medusa sounds so digital to me. I even doubt if it really have VCOs. It has 3 wavetable VCOs. That's digital. What I think you're trying to communicate here is that you don't believe that the 3 analog VCOs are actually analog VCOs. They are, and here's evidence. Does anybody think that it actually sounds good? I've listened to a number of demos on this thing and I still think it's awful. Strange, because most of the Dreadbox stuff sounds really good. I have removed my comments. Good luck. Peace, Cristo. With a little alien face. I think that this Sweetwater created video that he's commenting on did a terrible job at showcasing how good it sounds. And that's what I'm going to do for the remainder of this video. Some of the reviews or videos that you've seen on the internet have put a bad taste in your mouth in regards to the Medusa. I hope that this video has corrected that. For the record, and for full transparency, I am not formally affiliated with Dreadbox or Polyend. I am not being paid to make this video, and I received this as sort of a loaner that I would have to send back, and a week ago I said, nope, I'm keeping it, I'm not sending it back, I'll give you money for it. So I purchased this product because I really, really like it, and I was already banging out tracks with it long before I even started this video. The reason I'm so salty about unfair reviews and bad product demos is because Polyend in particular is one of my favorite companies in the world right now. I've had these ideal things in my head that I've even tried to create. For example, I made a very, very crappy version of the Seek. I've even made very amateur crappy versions of the Perk. So once I discovered Polyend, I was extremely enthusiastic and happy to find out that there's a company out there that is taking my dreams and vastly improving on them and making these super, super ideal products. If any of my subscribers have a Medusa, leave some good reviews for it. Let's try and turn this thing around so they can actually sell some products and make more awesome products for us in the future. I am personally going to review this on Sweetwater and send them this video in hopes that it motivates them to remove those nonsensical 1-star reviews. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to this channel. Or not. Bye.